What are we starting with, Sean?
Well, that's a good question.
Or are we just going to meander? Are you going to give us an F1 update because your F1 thing kind of worked again?
So we talked about how did it work this time? What did I hold on. I haven't heard that podcast. So what did I say? It was just a
broad statement of apparently I need to mention it in every podcast because when I did finally mention him, he won.
Yeah.
And then in this one, he won, but on a technicality, but won.
The universe kicked out George Russell based on my commentary.
Based on vampirism.
Basically. Yeah.
You've done it.
Which, you know.
Wait, there's vampires in F1? I've been gone for like a week.
Yeah.
George Russell's a vampire. I don't know how you didn't know this.
I don't know anything about F1.
All you got to do is look at him.
Yeah. Well, now you know one thing.
I know one thing about F1.
George Russell is a vampire.
George Russell, vampire.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, so I didn't actually watch this race either because I was gone and
But it was
wasn't
Spa.
dealing with it. I know. So exciting. And I just saw like the results and then I went, oh my God, it happened. But I didn't think about the podcast.
I'm doing is
I just thought about like, I just can't believe this is happening. This is great.
Yeah.
Didn't even think about wrapping it back into our F1 minute that we have here.
Well, you're welcome.
What is this podcast again?
The Campfire Passport Podcast.
Got it. So that was our F1 minute. It's summer break now.
It only took like 40 seconds.
We don't have to talk about it for
your
a little
F1
while.
minute.
It's just called the F1 minute.
You got to do it in under a minute or a minute or less.
Minute or less.
Basically.
Or more, if you need.
Yeah.
It's fine too.
It's like pizzas used to be. You got 30 minutes or less.
We didn't exactly put a timer on it to do it. But.
It's just a title. It doesn't mean anything. It's called the F1 minute. It doesn't have anything to do with time.
It's like every Duke or Duchess. It's just a title.
I don't know that it's an F1 minute. I think it's mostly just a, Sean.
It's Sean talking about how great Lewis Hamilton is.
In hopes that means that he will continue to win because the one time he talked about Hamilton, he won, and then it happened a second time just now. So
I think we're starting a movement here.
Yeah.
Really
so now you're going to have to bring it up again before the next race.
Yeah. I got to be on that.
You're going to have to try and remember on your own because I am not going to.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, that's on you.
I was trying to figure out, I told you guys what I wanted to talk about today, and
then
I forgot.
Yeah, you sent it in.
I know.
Yeah, you gave us
the
rundown.
What do we want to start with?
I didn't look into anything.
I think this is going to be fun because this is our favorite subject, which is mid-sized trucks.
Oh.
Well.
All across the board. That's what we're talking about, mid-sized trucks. I think the first thing we should talk about, because it's like very fresh in my mind now after watching it, is the video that was recently posted to YouTube, which is called... Do you have it up going?
No.
I almost watched it.
You were the last one that watched it.
It is called New Ford Ranger Deep in the Rubicon Trail, the Buck Island Towed Recovery. It's by Nick Valdovinos. He doesn't have a ton of views or followers, but good on him for getting out there, and it's been all over my internet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, he's going to have plenty of...
I think he's going to have some.
This once again proves my statement of all you got to do is do something incredibly stupid.
Yep.
And you're going to blow it up and get a ton of followers.
It's hate growth. It's hate growth. For sure.
I don't know that that's the type of growth that I want for
maybe not sustainable.
Our group, but no. I recognize that works.
I mean, hey, it's a don't hate the player, hate the game situation with this, right?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Before we get too far, anybody that isn't familiar with this, which is going to be everybody other than Lauren, because apparently he has already seen this too.
Yep.
Everybody should try to stop and take a peek through this. And what I'm going to tell you first is it's incredibly long and incredibly boring.
And it's 2 videos.
And it's 2 videos. This man somehow over, 3 or 4 days, essentially, I think, of total time, he put together the most boring hour and a half of video I think I've ever watched. But the subject is kind of interesting. So, Jesse, my guess is that you paid the most attention to what happened there. So why don't you give us a little synopsis of what's going on?
I thought he already told you that he watched it at
I know.
twice the speed.
Twice the speed.
I've seen the thumbnail and a couple of YouTube posts or Instagram posts about it. So he has way more than me.
Well, you're pretty damn spot on with it. Is an insanely boring video. There is such a thing as over content.
Yeah.
And that's what he did. And and like you said, it's like he doesn't have that many followers, so I'm sure he's trying to jumpstart a channel and kind of get into this thing. So he's like, well, what's the quickest way for me to do it? Let me go lease a Ranger and take it on the Rubicon.
Oh, it's a lease?
Shitload of video.
He does not allude to it being a lease. But
I don't
see
know.
where Jess is
Sorry.
going.
Okay. I was like, oh, no.
Sorry. However, he procured it. He procured a brand new Ranger and took it on the Rubicon, and over-filmed it, over-documented it. He did,
but like in the wrong ways.
Say it's a documentary.
Oh.
Yeah. What I said, this is my favorite comment that I made about it. I'm looking at it. I'm watching the video, and Colin and I are just, before the show hanging out talking, and I weren't really talking. We were just watching videos side by side, basically. And I said, the fact that he calls this a 2-part documentary is very generous.
Yeah.
That's generous wording.
At that point, it's a docuseries, right?
It's overly long, but it has all the wrong stuff documented.
Yeah.
There wasn't there's no shots of where he completely dog shit hammers the bed, both sides.
No idea.
Everything.
Man.
There's no explanation for it either. There's no
commentary.
Oh, I went through X spot here and just smashed the shit out of the bed. It's just all of a sudden the bed is dog shit hammered.
Did he go straight through that V-notch where the rock was?
Who knows? That's not there.
Now it might have been documented, but I was so bored that I kept clicking forward.
There's literally
not documented.
There's one spot, and it's when when he's on the way back out on Gatekeeper. That giant rock that I believe, so it's right after the spot that Steve got stuck on. There's that big rock on the left-hand side.
Okay, yeah.
So he's trying to go around that, and his bed is right up against it, very close. And for some reason, this is the side that's already smashed. He decides that this is the time that he's going to use the winch on the Jeep and run it up to a tree so that he can try and pull it away from the rock some, but then doesn't show it actually pulling it away from the rock, just that he's doing things, and then all of a sudden they're just moving along again.
Yeah.
So again,
they're
he just chose to put in, or either they didn't film the pieces that you want to see, or he's choosing to not show the things that you want to see. And so I kind of would assume that it's the former rather than the latter.
It's like a comedy act without any punchlines.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's like a bunch of setup and nothing else.
Tons of setup, no punchline.
Do you think he bought... Do you think he was doing this as a goal to buy views? I'm going to go wreck this truck, or do you think he was going to make it?
I think it just was a coincidence that he was filming that much of it. Okay. I mean, he obviously... I was looking at his YouTube channel just because I was curious, and he has actually a lot of bike content and a little bit of car stuff.
Okay.
And he's
he's
it
got
looks
a
like
TJ.
He's trying a little bit. But not it's not it doesn't look like that's his main thing by any means. So my guess is he decided, hey, it'd be cool to document this because it's kind of neat.
The first guy
he starts out by saying he's never done the Rubicon in general.
Oh.
And
he's been wanting to do it for 14 years.
14 whole years.
Only 14?
Wow.
Come on.
Oh, yeah. He must be 15. But he chooses to take the Ranger that is stock other than sliders and tires that are not that big. They're not that much.
I saw the pictures.
Maybe 33s.
Yeah. I saw the pictures.
I don't know where you get that idea. He's got the little intros at the start, which shows that he does wheel the TJ in some. I mean, he's rolled the TJ.
Yeah.
So which again shows more poor judgment potentially.
Yeah, that's what I got.
but yeah, I just don't. I was completely lost for the whole video. It like both of them.
Me too.
So,
There's
one
no
thing I wanted-
rhyme or reason. And then in the second video, the Jeep breaks more than the Ranger did that he didn't even fix before trying to get it
You're
back
jumping
out. Which
ahead
was
in
the
the
idea.
story.
I'm sorry.
So what broke? Yeah. So why do you end up stuck?
I want to back up for a second.
Yeah.
Did anybody understand what way he went on the trail? Because I feel like
Just the
because
same.
he did not do
He went the
a
same way we
really
went.
good job of organizing where he started and ended.
I have no idea where he
because
ended.
I
Well, he ended
feel
Buck
like-
Island.
Buck Island.
The Ranger, or I feel like the Ranger started at the beginning where we started, but I
Yes.
think the TJ started at the end.
No.
No,
It went in normal.
He
they just
went
didn't
in-
document
he
it
went
very
in the
well.
same way. Yeah.
But he went to
Because he
There's
gets
that
back
process.
to the trailer, because he trailered the TJ there, I assume, with the assumption that he was going to trailer the truck back or
Yeah.
whatever, something back because it's too broken or whatever.
Yeah.
And
so he didn't
when
get
he
to
gets
Rubicon Springs.
no,
Yeah.
he got
Yeah.
to Buck Island, spent a day or two there trying to get the steering rack out because the steering rack is what failed on
Mhm.
him.
Oh.
Or something,
Something?
associated with the steering rack, because he brought a Starlink. I saw.
Yep.
He didn't mention that,
And like
but
a
I saw
Ford.
it, and a laptop with some Ford diagnostic tool,
Mm-hmm.
and to scan it and see if he could clear the code and if that would fix his
Yeah.
issue, because apparently the steering rack has a motor on it, like an assist
Yeah.
motor, probably same
Electric.
as I'm
Probably
sure
the
the
same as
Colorado
yours.
has the same
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
but clearing that didn't fix the issue. So he had brought a rack with him
Got
to
it.
put in, but he could not get the rack out
Yeah.
of the
Oh.
truck.
Well,
So then he runs into some other problems and then just decides, well, I guess I'm driving this out, which then brings me to my next thing of him literally, he's got someone there with him.
This is
and
my favorite part
he
too.
daisy chains himself.
Just leapfrogs it.
Just leapfrogs. Just gets into the truck, drives it 50 yards, runs back to the Jeep, gets in the Jeep, drives that. Then same thing. And then you can hear in the
Why?
background, he hasn't even made it over the dam yet from his camp spot. And you can hear someone say, just have your buddy drive it.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
and,
my God.
and the guy on the camera goes, well, I am. We're getting to it. Don't worry, man. And it's like,
Oh my
it's
God.
like, dude, you're holding up. I mean, and it's obviously the weekend because it is just
1,000
traffic
people. Yeah.
filled the
Yeah.
whole time. It's like, dude, maybe you should have waited to do the filming of him jumping between rigs until there was no one around.
Right.
Why are we doing this when you're in like the most crowded spot of the trail? Because
Yeah.
you're at Buck Island
Yeah.
for one. So there's people just there hanging out. And
Yep.
then there's people that are like coming through there.
Yeah.
You have to drive through the area you're doing this in
Yeah.
to get through the trail.
People come over and just watch for the fun of it, to watch people
there
do
was
dumb
plenty
shit.
of people watching him do dumb
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
Because I remember when I got to Buck Island, people like posted up, and then they saw me pull up, and then they kind of like, and then they saw the rest of the guys in our group, and they were like, oh, and they came back and watched.
Mhm.
I get it. I had the boring vehicle, but I can't imagine being dumb, also dumb, and having an audience. Like that sounds like a
See,
hoot.
I can't figure out if this guy's dumb or not. Like, there's like,
Well,
Well, like
it's so hard to figure because he understands the concept on how to replace a steering rack. Like, that's not a
I think-
small task.
I think that might have been like.
Sorry,
Sorry, I think that might be gross incompetence. Maybe.
it might be like overconfident that
Yeah.
he can do it, but then it's like his driving is all over the place.
It is
Like,
it's
it's
a
like-
spectacle.
Mhm.
Have you done this before?
When I saw the
not
in the-
everybody could do
Okay.
everything.
Did anybody else hear the comment? You can't put too much torque on torques.
Yes.
And I was like,
What?
Could you
I-
back up a fucking
I-
second? There's a reason the name exists for that type of bolt head.
I understand what he's meaning by that. What he's meaning by that is
Oh, it'll strip.
when in that shit's tight, it's just going to strip.
Yeah.
It's going to strip it out. Like that was the point that he was making. Like he's not
Hmm.
sure he can get the bolts out because they're so tight. And if he puts an impact on it or whatever, he was worried that it would just blow the thing out. And then it's like, okay, great. Now I really can't get it out.
Most of the time, if you use the proper impact, and I don't know what situation he was in, and it was the right size, an impact will actually help because it's a whole bunch of little pushes instead of one big, I'm wrenching on it with a whole bunch of force.
Yeah. He did have an electric impact.
He does strike me as
didn't have a
watching
sawzall.
No.
I'll say that. Hammered his exhaust out instead of just sawzalling it off.
Yeah.
Watching that, I get the vibe that he might be like, maybe he's like a mechanical engineer. Maybe he actually knows a little bit, but he just doesn't.
That's what I was going to ask.
Know. Like what Jesse said,
he
maybe.
has knowledge, but not practical knowledge.
Maybe. I don't know. Because you're right. It is a big deal to swap out a rack and pinion, but it also might have been a scenario where that's the only option he thought he had, so he just did it.
Or he might have watched 4 YouTube videos on it.
But he tried.
Well, yeah.
He also tried to do it. So the other problem that he ran into was he thought that he was going to be able to just pull the motor off,
and swap
put the new motor on, but apparently the plugs were different. So I don't know if he got the wrong rack or if there was like an update at some point that he didn't get or what have you. But yeah, he pulled, which I don't know anything about the rack and the motor on the rack, but he pulled the motor off of the rack thinking that it would assist in space to get it out. And a bunch of, like, he said water came out of it, which it was very discolored.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, when you go through the water crossings, he got stuck. So
I know.
Well, those should be full of grease. Yeah. Not
that spot that right after, basically right after camp, where before we dropped down those really steep slabs, there was that toilet, and there's that puddle that you dropped into.
Yeah, that's a famous obstacle too. And I don't remember what it's called.
Over the big rock on the left and instantly got hung up on it, but then like just backed off it. He got caught on some other rock that you could not see in the water, and he winched himself out with a come along. He called it a high lift, but it was not a high lift. It was a come along, from what I saw. And so my assumption is that that's where his steering issues began. Was
Did you just
because
go forward through
it was just stuck in water for who knows how long.
Yeah,
and somehow water got into the steering box. But I don't know. I don't know what all went on there. But yeah, I mean, that thing was a real downhill from the start.
Dude, it was
situation
bad
for him.
It just kept getting worse too. It felt like.
So he gets the Jeep out there, and him and his buddy.
Tell me about this Jeep.
It's just a TJ. It had YJ wheels on it. It had lockers. It's a manual 6-cylinder. I mean, it looks
like 33s, 35s.
Yeah, maybe 35s.
Okay.
Like at most.
So that should have been pretty decent out there.
Yeah,
that
he tried to do supple and almost rolled it.
Oh, good idea. If you're having trouble already, you should do other obstacles.
He hadn't even made it to Buck Island yet, obviously. So try supple.
Yeah.
I almost get past supple because I didn't want to see if you made it. I would have been.
It's okay. It's a Jeep.
Utterly depressed.
Yeah,
he would have made it.
He didn't make it.
No, he didn't make it. Maybe
he got a Hemi.
The thing was making noise when they pulled it off the trailer, and the guy running the camera even said, "Sounds like it's in good shape," because it's like clicking and clunking as he's driving it around.
Like suspension components?
No, I think it was locker.
Oh, cool.
And sure enough, rear locker fails, and he has no rear drive on the way back out. So then he only has front wheel drive in the Jeep that is supposed to be rescuing this, the Ranger. And then the steering box breaks off the frame not once, but twice. It broke off. Oh, that's right. Because it broke off once before he even got to that said pool. They camped next to that toilet.
So he didn't build very well.
They camped there because it had busted off of there and waited for somebody to come by. Somebody welded it back on for him.
Which, by the way, did you see how garbage those welds were?
Yes, they were bad.
They put a bolt in there.
That was the second weld. That was the second time.
Geez. So you noticed he only used 2 batteries, and I was like, boom, you failed right there.
Yeah,
you
that was
only
part
got
of it, I think.
24 volts.
But rear locker fails, then the steering box comes off again when he's trying to get it out.
Man.
And it's just like, then it turns into the Ranger is rescuing the TJ because he had to drag it most of the way out and he couldn't steer.
Yeah, it was
It's like
bad. Bad,
Just
bad.
keeps going worse.
TJ
and worse.
101 is steering box brace.
I-
For
it-
all of them.
It did
If
not
bone
have a
stock,
brakes for
you should
sure.
have a steering box brakes because that is a known issue on all of them. And they make, like, on my TJ when I built it, I had both the so there's a frame side outer, like, weld in piece that you can expand the portion of I don't know, wherever the bolt sits against the frame, you just make it a larger piece and a larger contact area. And then there's a brace that comes from the other side of the frame across and then wraps around the steering box. And I had both, and you could still see when I'd have my front locker on, the front would go and just kind of wiggle a little bit when the steering was going, because that steering box is the same one they use in everything. So it's in the Durangos and the Dakotas and all the other stuff of that era. So there was like for a heavier truck with a V8 or for a whatever. So they're notorious for being pretty tough as far as torque wise and ripping themselves off of things.
Yeah, well, that's what it did twice.
Yeah,
That's good.
it was bad.
Yeah, but again, no real explanation
I know. Well,
as to
So I would hate that
what
so
obstacle did it, or
Yeah.
like how he picked up anything. Like I don't know. I felt almost as lost at the end of the video as I did
As he was.
from just the social media post of somebody finding the truck at
Yeah.
Buck Island when he left it there
I
and
think-
had no idea of what was going on.
yeah, I think I knew more about what had happened before I watched that video. And then after I was like, wow, that filled in a lot of things that I still don't quite understand.
Mhm.
Like it's too
He
much.
got sick. He got
Yeah, that-
sick like Colin, but
He
Colin
That
yeah.
didn't
too,
leave.
but what happened?
Well,
Did he ever?
did you see
No,
he's
he
got
threw up all
Did he
night.
poop his pants?
Did you see he had are those diet for diabetes?
What did he have? Like
those little patches?
No, yeah, he had one in his stomach with a
Yep.
tube
Yeah,
to
same.
it.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, so he
okay.
had
It's
so
like
he
an
had
insulin
one of
pump, I
those.
think.
Yeah, that's what. It should
So perhaps it was that, like he overcooked himself
be.
being one by himself on the Rubicon. Imagine that, and it being a stock vehicle, and maybe that's what induced his sickness. So he hitched a ride with somebody to get out, and then like went to a hotel and then rented a car to drive home, and then like a couple weeks later or whatever went out to get do all of this other stuff.
Having done the Rubicon and done like pretty well on it, I still wouldn't go back by myself. I don't think that there's any situation where that makes sense.
That's
No, it might
It's
be
pretty
fun to
unwise.
like run out to the Granite Bowl and back, or like
Yeah.
things like that, but not a trip.
No.
Not gonna camp out there, do the whole
Not
trail.
I'm trying to do the whole trail by my. Yeah. No way.
I think I'm dumb enough that I would on a weekend
on a
when
weekend
there's a
On a
lot of
week- well,
people.
with other
if
people,
there's a bunch of people there, yeah, you can almost
Exactly.
but
snake
not
into
in a
group.
stock Ranger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh no, God no! In my Toyota,
Yeah.
100%.
sure. That's
Maybe.
that.
You just
That
bring
seems viable.
bring extra batteries.
Easy lines, extra batteries. I know what to bring.
Yeah.
And do it on a weekend when there's a bunch of people.
But what's the
But I
fun
would
doing it by
never
yourself?
take a stock Ranger. I wouldn't have taken my built third gen Tacoma out there alone.
Yeah. Well,
what
I mean,
about
this-
raw dog? Would
this-
you raw dog the Rubicon?
Yes.
This proves so this in combination with Ryan
Mhm.
in the ZR2
Proves that Tacomas can make it,
kind of proves
and Colorados
the-
and Rangers can't. Sorry, I'm just kidding.
a stock one by
I'm
itself.
just kidding. I'm just kidding. Absolutely, a stock.
Tacoma by itself.
Oh no, God no!
That's what I'm saying.
It'd be the same thing. I'm just being
Taking
funny.
a stock vehicle by yourself.
Unless
Bad
it's
idea.
an XJ. The only thing you could take by yourself stock is Dave in an XJ, and he'd make it no problem.
Only
We'd all
if it's Dave. Well,
Okay,
only if it's Dave.
this
Yeah.
is an interesting.
He
thought,
may
then.
have the best chance at it.
Yeah, I
but
don't-
even still,
any
he
stock.
needed a lot of spotting to assist in his
Mhm.
help
Yeah.
to get through.
I was gonna.
So-
there was a couple parts where Dave got squirrely, and I was like, no, please stop.
So your thought finished is going alone in a stock truck. Not a good
Terrible
idea.
idea.
Doesn't matter what it is.
Mhm.
Now
Yep.
evolve on that if you had to pick one off-the-shelf stock vehicle to take to do it by yourself,
It'd have to be a stupid fucking Jeep.
which
Yeah.
one?
Yep.
It'd be a JK or a JL.
Gladiator.
Or whatever. No, not a
So
Gladiator.
hold on.
Yeah.
Any
Gladiator's too
any
long.
year of anything bone stock, not right now bone stock, but showroom floor bone stock, what would you pick? Gun to your head.
It'd just be a JL or Rubicon. You know,
Okay.
and
Rubicon JL.
That's probably the only thing you would think I can probably.
Okay,
go
hold on.
ahead
I'm going to
and get through.
expand on the game.
Okay.
You can't pick the same thing that Colin picked.
I would take a TJ Rubicon
The TJ Rubicon, that's a
Yep.
good one.
because it's smaller, it's easier to get around. But
Tiny tires
also-
on those things.
Yeah. Very
Yeah,
small
but
tires.
That was not
they did them when the trail was a little harder, so they were
Didn't
blowing
it-
up a
wasn't it
bunch
like-
of stuff.
harder and then easier or something.
It's
Mhm.
from what I've heard,
it's in
it's
that-
harder now. But
Well, yeah, it was harder when we were there, from what we've heard. But yeah, so that would have been my move because they were on 31s, but lockers front and rear. It's got the skids. It's
it's
got
4-to-1. So
yeah,
yeah,
4-to-1 trench
longer
case,
wheelbase.
410s.
it's
Okay,
that
Jesse.
type of thing.
And by that,
Which Jeep are you going to pick?
sorry, can I amend mine? I didn't mean TJ. I meant LJ.
Yeah, okay. That's what I assumed.
I need a little
you
more
meant.
room
Sorry.
for space.
I don't know why in my head that generation of Rubicon is just the long one. So,
Yep.
okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Stock rig by myself. I'm going to get a whole load of followers. I'm going to take a Grenadier.
Oh, that's a good call. I don't know if you're going to make it, but it's a good
Yeah.
call.
I don't care. I'm going to be rich off that influencer money.
I think so. My first pick was going to be JL Rubicon because I think that's the right choice, but I think my second choice is Bronco Raptor. Factory 37s is the reason.
Mm.
It'll also get a little beat up, but
Yeah.
I think it'd be
Yeah.
fine.
What about a Via Cross?
I mean,
That's the.
you
move.
could do the, a new ZR2 as well, like
Yeah,
a
that
Bison
Bison
or
should
whatever. It's
make
got
it.
35s. But,
Speaking of that, are we ready for that transition, or we need to talk about this
We can
more?
make that transition, but there was one more thing I wanted to
Oh, yeah.
mention. If anybody else noticed it, I'm not positive.
I
But
didn't.
he had a sticker on his TJ that once again alludes to poor choices. He may not be dumb, but the amount of poor choices he makes leads you to believe.
Was it a Yellowstone sticker?
No.
Deserves to have his
that
truck
leads you
stolen.
to believe that he's dumb
Okay.
is this. He had a sticker on it that said, no spotting.
Oh,
Like,
God.
Don't
No
like
spotting.
it was like no spotting or don't spot me or something along those lines of basically
Oh
he
my God.
only is willing to run trails by himself without a spotter, like no spotters or something like that is what it says on there.
That's
and
stupid.
that is
It's
just
so much
one
more-
of the dumbest.
Maybe he doesn't have any friends. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe he's plenty smart and
I mean,
all
he
the-
brought somebody
he
with
just-
him to get
he
the thing
paid
out,
that
but-
guy. He paid that guy money. He found him on the streets and said, "Sir, will you please come with me?" Because that, to me, like half of off-roading is hanging out around the other people you're with and like trying to get them into difficult, successful situations. I led on the Rubicon. I didn't have a whole lot of spotters, but I didn't get to try some of the spots that I thought I might make if I had someone eyes up. And it's, it was still a ton of fun, and we'll just do that next time. But that's the whole point. Like, I don't want to go out and wheel alone, even if I think it's a trail I can do and it's a fun technical trail. That's not the point. I want to go out there and be around the people. That's the point.
Well, it's also a matter of it probably could have saved him from 50% of his bed damage, maybe 100%
I thought
of
you were
his
about to
bed,
say
bed
50
damage.
grand worth of damage.
Oh, I tell you what, that
So,
truck,
like,
the
by
only
a
reason it
Ranger
won't
and
be
a half.
totaled, I've looked at pictures of it, but I
No,
haven't seen it.
It won't be totaled. He'll just
He
have to
won't-
take the bed off, and
He won't get any insurance for it. There's no
'cause
claim
it's-
to be made.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all off road.
Yeah.
It's a county road, though.
My bumper didn't look as bad as his. either.
You mean some light insurance fraud as
Yeah.
long as nobody looks it up. It's,
He's going
happens
to post the
He's only
video.
put a
Yeah.
on there. Of course,
with his plate on there.
but
Yeah.
but hold on, maybe that's it.
Yeah.
There's no video evidence of how the bed
That's
got
why-
damaged.
Maybe he's smarter
There
than
you
we
go.
thought.
There you go.
He's like, no, it was like
just
that.
magically is damaged.
It was
all of a
like that when I
sudden.
got here.
Somebody
Yeah.
was running into my truck when it was parked at Buck Island.
Yeah,
happen.
somebody must have turned their truck on when it was in gear.
Mm.
Just ran it right into the side of it.
You got Oliver. Yeah.
Yeah. Shit.
Oliver didn't hit an XJ.
Beep.
Oh man, I'm just watching it again. It's just so bad.
I'll watch it like tonight. We can talk about it, but I'm not.
No, don't.
I'm not sure
You
I
don't
would.
need to watch it, Mike.
Yeah, we
Honestly,
just gave you the
Yeah,
whole
we
The
gave
whole
you the-
thing? Is that's everything?
We gave you the full rundown.
Well,
I
in
mean,
that
if you want to
case-
sit through the
I don't.
stupidity, like you can, but
I don't.
there's not a whole lot more than what we gave you there.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry,
My
Nick.
whole first opinion was that he was just doing it to buy views. It's a whistling diesel style. You buy a G wagon and
That's
you go out
probably
to Moab.
where he got the idea,
Yeah.
was that he could just take that through because,
Yeah.
who knows?
I
I don't know. I don't know what drives people to think
I think you messed up right there.
that
I don't think they think a lot.
that you can take a stock vehicle, a stock vehicle, by yourself through the Rubicon.
crazy.
I have I
Yeah.
don't know where. It's like the simplest internet search on the planet to find out. Nope, I probably shouldn't take that through. I don't think it'll make it.
2 lockers, 33s, and skids is
Like,
the minimum for
for a short wheelbase.
Rubicon
Yeah.
to
For
do
a
the
short
Rubicon.
wheelbase vehicle, not a long wheelbase.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had this discussion where like I get the fun idea of like let me try this, but like I only understand that in this like weird little vacuum where it's not just like you're like if you decided to take your F-150 and do it, that would be the dumbest thing in the world.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? But now if Mike owns a Ford dealership and he says, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try to take an FX4 through the Rubicon this year. And if I blow it up and roll it over, like, who cares?
It's
That's pretty
advertising
cool.
money,
I'd watch
yeah.
that. But, like,
You have to do a better job editing.
yeah.
But-
Oh, God, no kidding.
And filming,
Well, I
yeah.
mean, I watched this one,
Yeah.
so
I don't know. You're
I
right.
guess maybe you don't.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's a weird thing that somebody would do that. Especially somebody that has a better vehicle. Like,
Yeah.
not that it was
Yeah.
that good. Obviously, he
Broke it
messed
in
that one up
multiple
pretty good,
ways
too.
for that too. Yeah,
But, man,
a
what
more capable,
an off-roader.
yeah.
I mean,
He built
easiest
that
way
to
put
go
it.
off-roading, not a street truck with some tires and sliders. That's it. Like,
I don't. He just might have wanted content. I
guess
like
so.
one of my
Yeah.
notes here is like, why the fuck did you do this? Like, is it for trail cred?
No.
Do you want followers?
Maybe we should get him on the podcast. Just don't let him
After
listen to this episode.
After this glowing, yeah, you got to get a hold of him before this comes out.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know if I want to stoop to
Uh,
that
I'm just
level.
thinking we ride the bandwagon here.
Mhm.
you get this guy and the Haktua
I mean,
girl on the same podcast.
We tried
I don't
that
think
with
we're gonna
the-
get her.
with the van guy,
Yeah.
and it didn't really work out.
Well, he
but-
was cool at least.
He was cool, at
Yeah.
least. But we could tell on the front end that he was cool.
Yeah. Well, that
So-
was pretty easy. Yeah.
This guy,
A little different.
not positive.
That's fair.
Well, if I didn't have to drive or pick the Bronco Raptor to go through the Rubicon by
We can
myself
talk about
stock,
another
I would
another
go
guy that's not cool.
Oh, wait.
I like him.
What? Who?
Trail Recon.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I knew that's where you're going.
sorry. I think he seems like a great guy. He's
I
not
like
the most
him.
interesting content guy, but I do think that I probably would. I think he's a cool dude. I'm sure in person. Right? I've got.
I disagree,
I-
but okay.
Okay.
I'm on Team Colin with this one.
He's friends
I
with
don't know.
Marcos.
Who's Marcus?
Do you think his name is Marco? There's
Yeah.
no
Marco.
S.
I thought it was Marcos.
There's no S.
Ah,
It
well,
is
I'm not. I
Marco.
don't know him either.
It's a
Marco's
mix
cool,
between Marco and Narco.
but no, I think Trail Recon guy is too. We've gone over this before. He is way too vanilla for
Yeah.
one, and for two, he is way too dick sucking Jeep. Like it is.
Well, people love
Well, did you
Jeeps,
see his
man.
newest video
I mean,
where
I
he bought
get
a new Land Cruiser?
No,
That's
I
his neck build?
didn't watch that because Sean made me watch the ZR2 Bison video.
Which, okay, hold on. For the record, it's the only video of his I've watched since we had the argument about the Grenadier. So,
Okay,
I don't watch his content. I
I
just
don't
think
either.
he's probably a good guy.
I do on occasion.
He's probably,
He makes.
probably a
Hold
perfectly
on.
good guy.
Hold on. Let me.
But
Here's my thing.
I don't like it.
You should not like him, and that's fine. I think he makes pretty good content that I don't watch because it's not made for me.
Yeah, I think it's more for the
It's
mass
made for Mike.
people.
It's vanilla.
Yeah.
Like I said, he is very vanilla.
Vanilla.
He is.
Aw,
he is.
heck.
He isn't even French vanilla. It is so vanilla.
But why am I vanilla?
I
Not
don't
even
know,
vanilla
you
bean.
You like
It
it. I
doesn't
don't
have
know.
the little specks in it. Even it's just white.
Well, everybody knows regular vanilla is
plain,
better, anyways.
like
White ice cream.
Get out of
Yeah.
here, Sean.
It is. Vanilla bean ice cream sucks. I will die on this hill.
Oh
I
man.
miss ice cream.
Will die on it.
This time on the Campfire
Yeah.
Passport podcast, we get in arguments over vanilla ice cream.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's
we've
interesting.
had worse arguments.
Well,
Definitely.
bean is better.
No,
No.
I like him. I think he builds interesting things. But the other thing is he is building. He did get one of the new Land Cruisers, and that's his next build out for
Isn't that what didn't... Oh, you said
I
it.
said it
Okay,
a second
sorry.
ago, yeah.
I was like, wait a
But
minute. Did
he's-
Colin just tell you?
He's just
Is
talking
it-
about it.
so-
He filmed doing it and has kind of like a
I
general.
can't wait for him to put 35s on that thing and like a spacer lift and a rooftop
think-
tent.
I don't think he's
I
doing.
think you're dreaming.
I don't think he's doing any of that
I
stuff.
think you're dreaming on 35s with him.
33s. It's gonna be nice. He's gonna have molly panels everywhere.
I think it's gonna
Oh,
be.
yeah.
I think it's gonna be a very basic build for sure.
Okay.
So
what we're
this is
talking about. Oh, Jesse, go ahead. Get in
I was
on
gonna
this.
say, this is the first video I've ever watched of his,
Mhm.
and I can tell immediately that he is that guy. It's like spacer lifts, 33s, molly panels. I have 50 grand worth of like accessories that don't matter and are
Yeah.
not going to really
He
help
overlands
me.
with a trailer by himself.
Yeah,
That's
Okay,
the
so,
kind of person.
Hold
he
on.
is.
I'm not being fair with the spacer lift. It's probably like an Ibach coilover.
Yeah, he spends good money on good parts, and
Yeah, he has plenty
He's-
of money. There's no one said he didn't.
his JK is pretty much. It's not fab unusual. All JKs you can bolt on whatever you want, but his JK
Is it
is
vanilla?
pretty much the JK on 37s that everybody wants.
It's not even on 40s.
It's exactly the thing. No,
That angry
I'm not
eyes?
even
It's
on
like
40s.
it's like yours then.
I know.
Cool.
Yeah, it works. It's exact. That's what I'm
the
saying.
same vanilla JK.
I'm sorry, Mike.
Speaking of
I
that,
led
And
you
don't
right
worry,
into
he's
that.
got multiple.
I don't care. Yeah, I know exactly what it is, and I also led through the Rubicon without a spotter. And
I brought up the rear without a spotter. So
Yeah.
Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
Okay.
on 40s.
You didn't drive it
Anyway.
home though.
No.
Anyway.
Or there.
Yeah, I did not. I didn't either.
Of course, yeah. So neither of you did. So
I
there you
could
go.
have,
So-
though. I would like to point out because I drove to Reno 4 times. Mine could have driven home, but I had the trailer for a recovery in case somebody broke something, and then the only vehicle I couldn't tow home broke catastrophically. Because literally anybody else's rig I could have put on that trailer and been fine. So
I could have
sorry,
drove home. It just
But
took
nobody
me
else needed
forever.
Sorry, other Colin.
Sorry, other Colin. It's okay, he doesn't listen.
So
Yeah.
anyway, ZR2 Bison
Yeah, so
that Trail Recon
Bill-
went ahead and tested.
I think his name is Bill. Brad?
Brad.
Brad.
Yeah.
That's B.
Bill.
4 letters with a B.
Four
Yeah.
letters with a-
I don't know. Old Bill.
That's about all you need to remember about him.
Bill Recon. He reviewed the new ZR2 Colorado Bison.
Bison.
Mhm.
Yes.
And it was a good as much as we've talked crap about his channel.
It was a good
It was a
vanilla rundown.
It was a thorough
Mhm.
review. He showed all the parts of it really well, and another video that you should watch if you've got 20 minutes to kill or whatever.
16 and some
16
change.
and some change.
Yeah.
I skipped through a little bit of the like interior stuff. Like actually, they are nicer inside than I thought they were. But anyways,
Yeah.
So he goes through the whole thing, and the whole premise of the video, which was interesting. The reason it's the catchy tagline was, "Would you buy this over a?"
Is it better than
Is it better than a
my
gladiator?
Is
Yeah.
what is that was his,
And
and we all knew what he was going to say at the end.
you did for sure.
Oh yes,
I kind of
100%.
figured this might be where it went, but I did like his point though a lot actually. I liked his like, hey, spoiler alert, it is if you're a guy that or a person that wants to just off road, probably go with the Gladiator. Like it's a better choice. Solid front axle, huge aftermarket sport, blah 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 blah. It's great. If you want the thing that can do most of that and overall do everything else, this is a really good choice.
very
And it is.
comfortably.
Yeah, and it
Yeah,
is a really
which
good
is what
choice.
he makes.
Super nice
He
truck.
makes many points of how much quieter it is inside and how much better it drives and all that, which we all knew that was going to happen.
Everybody knows that.
It's,
Yeah.
he's
Better on the
comparing it to
road.
a Jeep.
Because
So-
it's IFS.
Yeah, which sucks. But
But-
in this case, I
Oh,
think it's
God.
fine.
But we all knew at the end that was that was what he was going to say.
Yeah.
And I will take slight qualm in his if you want to get something, that right off the showroom floor and take it on the Rubicon, I don't think this is the one. It's you want to do the Gladiator, and it's like,
Well,
especially the Bison that's got the steel bumpers and stuff. I'm pretty sure that even that stock rig would do it. Would it have a little bit harder time than a Rubicon Gladiator? Yes.
I don't know.
And I don't even know if
But-
that's the
because you
argument.
can't get a Gladiator on
I don't
35s from the factory. So, like,
Okay.
way more overhang on a Gladiator.
Yeah.
So Luke can attest
Longer
this on
wheelbase.
37s and lifted. Not
But-
much, but a little bit.
But a good amount more flex available.
A lot more, yeah.
I think
So
I would make
there is
this
that.
point. I would make the point that the majority of his audience, that statement is true. Because
No.
he's kind of an everyman
Vanilla.
But,
vanilla well, yeah, but that's most of the people who are buying Gladiators
He
and
doesn't wanna say
CR2s. I can't eat ice cream anymore because I'm lactose intolerant.
Even if
So
he
stop
says it,
trying
he's
to
gonna
make-
get sick.
I'm gonna go home and I'll have to be on the toilet for a week.
It's vanilla Recon.
No, so that's the truth though, is he's selling to 1 million people watching his thing, and to most of them that statement is correct.
Well,
Because you
also,
showed that
I'm
you can get a ZR2 through the
Different
Rubicon.
truck.
different truck.
Doesn't matter.
But
Pretty,
Different
but
truck.
pretty different
also-
truck.
I don't know that
That's like
yours
saying-
is more capable
But I'd
than
also
the new one.
say that
Oh.
75% of his following is Jeep people.
Yeah,
So he needs to pander to his own audience
sure.
and say that the Jeep is the better vehicle. And stock for stock,
If I was going to everyday it, I'd still get a Bison. I mean, if I could afford that, I'd probably just end up with a regular ZR2 over the Bison because I'd need to do more things that are not off-roading. If I could only have one thing. But I get it because we've talked about this kind of in the past where we're weird in this segment.
we're the
Yeah.
group of people that he was referring to when he said, if you
The
want
10%
that
whatever.
want to only off-road something.
Yeah.
But we're also the 2% of that 10% that would be like, no, I'll take the ZR2 and wheel that
and
right away.
push
Figure it
that.
out. Yeah. And I think that's the difference because I think he's right for most people.
Yeah.
But also most people suck.
For Joe
And
Blow,
so what do you do?
For guy with the Ranger that tried to do the Rubicon,
Should have had one of these.
should have just had a Gladiator.
Or a ZR2 Bison.
Oh, okay, or a Gladiator.
Honestly, either one and he'd have been better
he
off.
probably
He
would
probably
have
should
been
have
better.
had anything else, or just not gone.
Honestly, an XJ and he'd have been fine.
Probably. That's bad.
Yeah. Anyway,
Well, you couldn't
new
sell me
ZR2,
that color.
the-
The color is horrible.
I still don't really like that color.
I kind of like it.
Which color is it?
I've seen it a couple times in person. That yellow, that like.
Oh, I do kind of like it.
I've
It's
seen
like
it in
a
person.
remember what they
I think it's
call it,
better in person.
It's
I
like a
don't mind it on
pissant.
this.
I
It's
don't
yellow snow.
I don't like that they moved the Colorado badge to like the top of the door. I don't get why it would be up there.
Oh,
Badges
because
badges should be on the bottom.
it's like the TRD Pro badge.
Oh yeah, it is
It's
up
not
high.
quite as high as that.
Yeah.
but
It's
so they
right
kept
at the body line.
they kept
the
it-
same idea, I think.
Yeah, but it
It's
doesn't.
for
Have
your
you guys
content
seen
creators. They're holding a
Needs to-
camera out the window
it
to
should be
look
down
at
at the
themselves
bottom
through
of
the
the door.
window.
I don't
You
know.
can see now
It's a good-
what they're driving.
Or just not
It's a
there
good, it's a
at
good
all.
looking track.
But
I agree. I think
Oh.
they're very good looking.
they are good looking trucks.
I think
yes.
everything from the work truck all the way up to the ZR2 Bison, all of those Colorados right now are good looking. I
I am not.
don't know
gonna
what they
disagree.
did. Yeah.
I don't have any
But I
reason
have
to like
one
the work
point to
truck,
make.
but
Have
It's
you
just got the
seen
same
how
body lines.
similar
and-
they are to the Forerunner. They
The what?
look so similar.
I
they
will
do have
say
some similar
in
things. Yeah,
some of the shots
lines.
that he took across the front in that video, I did think to myself, that kind of looks Forerunner-y.
like the new Forerunner.
Yeah,
So the new Forerunner copied
Kinda-
Chevrolet.
kinda like
Maybe.
Oh,
Forerunner.
man.
maybe
But
co-developed.
But yeah, it is a good look truck. I still think I like the generation that I have better.
Wrong Forerunner.
It does
It
look like
still
that
looks-
though too.
It's
It's got a lot like
Yeah.
that.
So maybe it took some inspiration
Yeah.
from the
But
20-year-old 5th gen.
but it does look good.
Eh.
I still
Yeah.
like mine better, but as we've talked about before, I like Aussie Utes. So
Yeah.
so that's on me.
This is not two vehicles that I'm shopping at all near each other or in any way, but I think the new one, you can tell, I think that the interior is a little bit more.
Yeah.
It just
Refined.
has like
Yeah, the
it
interior
feels and
has
looks
improved a
really
good
nice.
amount.
The new
But
Silverado too.
Also, the difference from the first gen Colorado interior to the
They've
second
made
gen Colorado interior
big
is
jumps.
a huge difference too.
Those
So it
things
only
work.
makes sense that it just is. They're progressively making the interior.
I
better.
really liked my Colorado's interior. Everything was accessible. It was plenty comfortable. I worked out of it, so I was in it for 8 hours. Every couple of days, going between jobs and all kinds of stuff, regularly in my truck, and like it was very nice. It was a good place to be.
So Jesse just shared a rig that I have not shared yet, but I was going to at some point. So hold on.
Oh,
Before we
sorry.
get there, I want to bring
So-
up one thing.
Mhm.
There's
Sorry,
nothing-
this is my rig that I'm bringing to
Okay,
class.
this has
today.
nothing to do with this rig. I had one more subject I wanted to get to before we brought something to class. So
Okay.
do you got?
Okay.
You gotta say something there?
It's probably about
Me,
this.
no.
It's probably about what
Okay.
we're saying.
So I got one more subject. We can go really quick. Mike talking about his work vehicle.
Yeah.
Today or yesterday, they just released the 2025 Maverick, and
Yeah.
they have all-wheel drive hybrid. And
I know.
I just wanted to know, while you're on the podcast, you're so in love with your new truck that you'll never get rid of it. But if in a different scenario, does
You know
that
what?
open up the
No.
Maverick again? No.
Nope.
Maverick is dead to Mike.
No. I would. No, I love it. It has to be plug-in. That's the big. That's the big
you're right.
drawback to me. Was
You
the
mentioned
plug-in
that you wanted
hybrid.
plug-in.
All-wheel drive hybrid makes it better, but it needs to be plug-in hybrid for my situation specifically, because I have solar. I
Ideally.
overproduce my solar, and so the plug-in hybrid would take this power that falls out of the sky that I am just giving away and utilize it for me to drive to job.
Yeah,
And
nice.
it makes sense to me.
Sure.
But all-wheel drive hybrid and the Maverick, it opens it up to a lot more areas, and I think it makes sense in that
Do you think it gets
capacity.
better mileage than your V8 F-150?
Never. I
Okay.
doubt it.
I was just
Yeah,
curious.
I wouldn't believe that for a second.
Okay.
Yeah, especially since I idle most of the time, and it just sits there, and it goes into 4-cylinder mode,
That's
like
nice.
cylinder deactivation, but it shakes when it does it,
Nice.
so it's
Mm.
out of balance. And so I'm just sitting there, and it like air conditioner on, I'm working and charging things, and it's got to
probably
be
because
running.
it shuts down an entire bank
Yeah.
instead of
It's
going off.
one
So it's
side.
just the one side. It's got a slant four in it.
Yeah.
Oh, probably
Uh,
smoother with a slant 4.
But you can feel it, and it goes from like it's vibration free and comfortable and sitting there, and it just goes to and everything seems to shake just a little bit. And I'm like, God damn it! You just put your foot on the gas just a tiny bit,
Burn some more
just
fuel.
a little bit more fuel, and like 100 RPM difference, and it won't do that. So
Oh
I
my
sit there with just
Just
100.
power brake it the whole time. That's awesome.
I feel bad, but the company pays for the gasoline, and so I will be comfortable.
Problem is the company is
The
you.
company is you.
Oh shit!
No. Okay,
I was
Jesse.
two steps
Major
behind.
flaw.
I was
Unless-
2 steps behind.
Unless Colin has anything else to say about the Maverick, which looks a little better, has a bigger screen, and is an all-wheel drive hybrid now.
I've never
So
cared about the Maverick. So
It's a great car.
give
with
us an
a bed.
applause. Oh, we got it first try, everybody. Okay,
Well
All right.
done.
Jesse, tell us about this amazing vehicle and why it's so great.
Oh God, I love this Forerunner. So what? That they consider this the 5th gen? Is that what it is?
Believe so.
It's one of the longest running body styles that they have.
It's a Hilux.
No.
It's a
I'm
27th generation
joking.
Hilux.
I'm
Anyway,
joking.
point of the story: it's a solid axle Forerunner with the 4-liter in it, with the not the most recent body style, but the previous ones, which I think is 5th gen Forerunner. I can count. So there's one.
FIF.
Fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4.
5th gen.
FIF.
It's got Rockwell's 4 links all around and 40s.
What? Wait, hold on. It's got what?
Does it have Rockwell's on it?
No,
Is
it's
that what it is?
No, there's 110.
Says 609s.
That's how to-
Oh, I'm.
Those aren't.
609s and
That's- I absolutely love this thing. I've been watching it. It just recently did the Rubicon, and so it's been popping up in my feed a lot, and it has just been a delight to watch. So I wanted to bring that to the group today.
It's giant.
It's very giant. It's very cool. Fun thing, if I follow this dude on Instagram, I have for a while. It is like a 9-inch Spider Tracks axle, by the way, front and rear. That's why I was trying to.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep, no worries.
I'm going to just move over a little bit so I can see your screen because my phone died.
He popped 2... Sorry, I got to move my microphone so Mike can see here. He did 2 engines in like 2 months, too, by the way.
Oh.
Just at the beginning of this year. It was pretty cool.
Those
and
reliable Toyota 4 liters?
Yep, they just did Fordyce with it. And there's some great coverage of that.
Oh, man.
That's cool.
Watching him do those. Actually, I'm looking at the video of Windchill 4 right now. It is too good.
Man.
Like, it's unfair. It's like, that's what... It's like, okay, let's go back to, how much you can get for $100,000. It's like,
you could build this.
Can I just have that for $100,000?
Yeah.
Yeah, 3-link front and rear.
Yeah.
Coilovers. I mean, it's very cool. It's been around for a minute, box. But it is so good.
Yeah.
So I should say, and it's so good.
So what? Just for the people out there, AMG _T40R.
Mm-hmm.
Because that makes sense. His name is
find it.
Clinton Fan, PH.
Oh. He's a big fan.
I think I might have to look way back here. I think I started following because I think he's a car guy. I think he's part of the Pure VIP group.
Oh, he's a car guy?
He's like
He's got a 4Runner and he's a car guy?
Yeah, kind of like us being Formula One fans. Different.
Yeah.
I think he's going to...
I never would have guessed by the look of his 4Runner that he was a car guy, Sean. Thanks.
Oh, come on.
Thanks
I meant
for the
a
update.
car guy, not a truck car guy.
Al Roker over here.
Oh, my God.
You're going to have a hot dog eating contest out in the square in a minute.
I'm scrolling down very far to see if there's anything here.
Me too. Everybody,
a lot of 4Runner content. A lot of 4Runner content.
This week on the podcast, the boys scroll.
All right, I'll let you continue.
Don't like anything on that really far down stuff. It's really weird.
Just double click on all of them. Yeah.
I will say that it would take a lot for me to pull away from my Toyota, my dedicated wheeler.
Your what?
My
not going to get into this argument. Not going to get into it. Anyway.
Technically, 4Runners are Hiluxes too because they started out as a truck that got a canopy put on it by some factory out in... You're dumb.
Wow. Shots
what?
fired. All right, you guys keep arguing while I keep looking at
Are you telling me I said
Instagram
that? Because that's a load of shit.
Nope, but it sounds like something you'd say.
No, it's not. Because
everything's a Hilux.
That's stupid. Jesus Christ. Anyway, moving on. I was going to say it would take a lot for me to pull away from having my Toyota because I love it. And, I've had it since I was 16. But now that I have 2 kids and a wife and 2 dogs, I would love to have something that has 4 doors and is able to take all of them on the Rubicon.
Mm-hmm.
So if I could build something like that, I would
the end of the year.
give up the other one.
4Runner content.
Nope, it's a 4Runner guy through and through.
Yep.
I may
not a true car guy, according to Sean. just
a
truck car guy.
Just a 4Runner
Just
guy.
a 4Runner guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he did go through all the stages though. He had long travel on it and got up to like 37s, and he ran those. They're not Trepadors, but they're the
Maxxis stickies.
Ooh.
Yeah, they're the Cleaver, I think, or Kenda Cleaver, or I don't know, something stupid. But yeah, almost Treps, but not. Oh, the Maxxis. There you go.
Trepadors are Maxxis, so they're the radial.
They're the radials. Yeah.
I love Trepadors.
But yeah, then worked his way up to 40s and solid axle, and now he's on 42s.
Can't lose on 42s, right?
All right. Well, I sent
I see this.
my first one.
Oh, okay.
I have one in the chat also. It's right above Jesse's for later.
No, it's not.
I sent one.
Well, it's not
actually,
there. All right,
it's not there.
Jesse,
What
on the
happened?
last podcast, it's not there.
I can't reach my phone. My phone died, and I sent it before we started, so maybe that's why.
No, what you did, you sent it to the group chat, not in the
That's true.
Oh,
That's what he did.
actual.
Yeah.
I did that
You
also.
didn't send it to this chat.
I
Yeah.
did both.
Mm.
Hold
But
on.
anyway, so what I sent while you guys are looking it over there is this new, and I don't like I don't like them.
NAEV.
but it is a Hummer that is full electric, and it's the H1 Hummer, not the Tahoe.
Yeah.
So it uses
Humvee.
They call it a Cyber Hummer, which
What a
Right.
terrible name.
is a terrible name, but
Seems
the,
like you could have done better.
the reasoning there is because they use a bunch of Tesla shit in order to
Mm.
build it. But it is 1,000 horsepower, which is
That's awesome.
pretty
It's a few.
wild.
That is a few.
And it has a range of 300 miles.
It's pretty good.
Which is also pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Unfortunately, it looks like a Hummer,
'Cause
an H1.
I mean, it
because
is.
That's because that's the name.
So
But
is it?
Oh, come on, you son of a...
God damn it. My brother in Christ.
Is it actually like an HMMWV like platform
It
that
is.
they plop
It is
in?
built exactly like that. Yes.
My phone battery died.
So it's fully independent suspension, and just like the H1 is,
So
it's got 37s. It's 4,500 pounds.
It doesn't look like it's got portals. That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
So wait a
so
second,
that
sorry.
that would be the
When you
missing
say it's
link
built
there.
like
So they-
that, Colin, like is it? It is a
It is
frame
not.
that they have manufactured. That
Yes.
they have. They have. Okay, so this is everything is
New.
they've done.
Yes, it is
It
not.
just
It is
looks
not like
like
they're taking Hummers to turn them full electric. It is a complete one-off vehicle
Huh.
that has some sort of contracting to be able to use the Hummer name for it.
To be fair, the...
Well, Humvee.
yeah,
It's
Hummer.
not
Sorry.
It's a Hummer.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
It's a Hummer H1,
Well,
I said
There's-
H1,
which
there's
could be a
difference.
Humvee.
so,
But they
That's what it was
specifically
after.
list
Yeah.
Hummer H1 in this article many
That's fine.
times.
Ugh.
I can't read it from my dead phone. But the motor and transmission were like the worst part of those anyway. So literally, you could K-swap it and it would be better than the
Yeah.
diesel that was in
That's
it.
an upgrade for most things.
I
What are
mean,
you talking about?
it, like
Doesn't
Sean
change
said,
the fact that it's insanely uncomfortable. But yeah,
it does need the portals.
Yeah,
It's
That's-
unfortunate that there's no portals on
that's
this
like
thing.
the most Hummer part of the Hummer.
So, but I mean, and apparently it's got 1,000 foot-pounds of torque too. So 1,000,
That's good
That's-
for a lot.
pretty insane. The price tags are from $99,000 to $140,000.
Is
Which-
that it?
Honestly, what I would expect.
still better than a Cybertruck.
It
Yeah.
is, I will say,
I mean, it's
this
about the
would
same,
be better than a Cybertruck
but it's a better
as
vehicle
far
just
as
because it's not. Just by
You could
not
wash it?
being a Cybertruck.
Yeah.
yes, it is a better vehicle.
Yeah.
The outside won't rust.
I still have never seen
Yeah.
one rusted. I hear that all the time. We
I've
had
seen
this.
pictures. I haven't seen one in person
They
yet.
turn like brown,
Yeah,
but I
Did
can't
you guys
tell if
not
it's
see
actually
the, watch
rust.
the videos that I sent today?
they don't
All
look.
three that I saw
They're
were
not rusty.
rusting and
They don't look rusty.
No, they
the
look
video.
dirty.
No, well,
They're
I-
terrible. I gotta
maybe it
say this
doesn't-
again. Every time I like defend this thing, I feel so bad. It's terrible. Everything about it is terrible, but
But
it's
But,
like also
yeah.
kind of stainless steel, so I feel like it's weird that
Yeah.
it would be rusty.
oh, that one actually hyperlinked. Good job. Good job.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So the next thing
Oh,
that I put in here
and we're moving on.
is also cool.
Cool.
Well,
brought
no,
two
this one,
trucks to
yeah,
the
this one
party,
actually
huh?
is cool. So it is, which
Oh,
this
I
is
saw
this is a
this.
little,
That's okay.
even
Mhm.
On the
amongst
nose.
Land Rover people, the Defender not always super well liked,
Fair.
but it is a new version of the new Defender that has a 4.4 liter twin turbo hybrid V8.
Oh,
I have a fun story about this. You're gonna
Okay,
keep-
go.
keep-
Yeah, no.
Can I say something?
yes, go. Get
So
into it.
the guy that designed this, the guy that's the head of this team, is also the guy that's responsible for the Raptor, the GT40,
oh,
and the GT350. Luke, shout out to Luke. He's going to know this because he listened to the Smoking Tire podcast that I did, I'm sure, where the guy was on there, but he was talking about this vehicle. It's pretty cool. And Colin is looking up his notes. So what does he got? Come on, Colin.
Because this put everything. It's English, of course. So it put everything in Newton meters and torques. So
ah, yes.
so that you guys don't have to do the math. I already did. I just have to find my page. And so we're talking 626 horse and 553 torques.
Nice.
That's good. Those
So-
are good numbers.
Not bad. And due
But you
to
can't torques that much.
and due to the fact that it's a newer vehicle that has a turbo on it,
Yeah.
I'm sure that there's some tuning that can open that thing up a little bit more.
Well, that's funny because that's Sean said it a minute ago, but that's pretty close to the current generation Raptor numbers. Not the Raptor R, which is the supercharged V8 and all that fun stuff, but the current generation Raptor numbers are right about there,
And
which makes sense. He's the same guy.
like the Raptor, this also has wider flares.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
So it's got wider flares, a wider stance, which unknown if the wider stance is actually wider suspension components or if it's just a wheel offset type of situation.
Yeah.
It would be cool if it was wider suspension because that would mean more suspension travel inherently because it's independent. But my guess is because it's a Land Rover product, it's probably just a wheel offset thing.
He does talk about this, and also, so two things. It's Jamal Hamidi. Yeah, Jamal Hamidi,
Okay.
Who was the guy that was like the designer for SVO for quite a while,
Mhm.
and now he is the guy for Jaguar Land Rover SVO again. Is it Special Vehicle Operations? Anyways, I don't know. But he was mentioning that this is not supposed to be like a Raptor because it's English, so it's different.
Of course.
but it's
It's
like
more refined than a Raptor.
like it doesn't have super big tires, and it's not the most powerful, but it's supposed to be like the most exaggerated version of a Defender
Of
that
a Defender.
they could sell basically without doing something ridiculous.
So
So
reasonably, yeah.
good listen. Anybody that wants to listen to that podcast should.
I probably will.
We talk about Fords.
I just got to the price tag.
It's expensive. Of course, it's expensive.
It starts off expensive. So, any
And
guesses,
this-
Mike? Let's see if Mike see how on or off base Mike will be on the price here.
166.
Not bad.
Higher?
You're
185.
189 to 209.
Yeah. Inflation, really,
Lots of
you know.
monies.
That's it's a lot.
It's because nobody wants to work anymore.
Nobody
That's
wants
right.
to. Yeah.
But it's a limited production type of situation that is already on an expensive vehicle.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, very
Yeah.
expensive vehicle to begin with anyway. But it is cool. I think that the exaggerated fender flares look cool. I mean,
Yeah.
and I, as we know,
I
I'm
agree.
a Land Rover guy and I do like the Defender, the space. I don't like the space that the Defender has been put in as a Defender, but I do like the new Defender. I just wish it was, a Discovery.
A
not a Defender.
Discovery.
I like it.
If this was a fancy Discovery,
So-
I'd be, more on board. But
So
How much was the Fox Factory Chevy again? Was it like
Oh, it's
150?
speculatively
Yeah, they didn't-
like 200 basically.
yeah, so around the
200?
same.
Okay.
I mean, I'd rather have
Around
that
the same.
probably, but ultimately, like,
don't know,
there
man.
will be more of these sold because you could.
yeah.
I want to say they're easier to get. They're not because they're going to
Yeah.
be like you're going to be on some special list, but the other truck it will be too. So there's just like it's
I think
such a
both
weird
trucks
market.
will sell all of the ones that get made.
Yeah, because all
Oh,
the
yeah.
people that can afford
There
it will buy it.
Yeah.
That's it.
So
Yeah, Clarkson's going to have one of these.
But he better.
I mean, he loves his
Wow.
L322
It's astute,
still.
Colin.
So, but
you guys wanna
I
look
do
up-
view that happening.
the car that I brought to the show is a moto built El Jefe. And it is the opposite of this.
Oh.
As far as chassis are concerned,
In parentheses, the boss.
the boss. Yep.
If you didn't know, it's
And
the toughest, fastest machine they've ever assembled.
the moto. Well, they're selling it. They're not selling it, but they're selling parts
Is it?
off of it. They're using it as a tool for them to sell other builds that they can do. It's actually kind of cool on their website. You can literally parts list all the things that they have available that they put on that rig. But it is one of my favorite, low slung, good looking, big tire, just YJ all the way, square headlights stuck around. And I'm really on a YJ kick.
I mean,
454
I love a YJ.
LS.
yeah. I'm not gonna like
Yeah.
kill your YJ dreams here, but if you put round headlights on this, it's not
It's-
a YJ anymore.
I know, but it doesn't.
It's just
not a
a
YJ
Jeep.
at all. Yeah,
It's just the grill.
It's just
yep. It's probably
I would
That's
just,
fair.
I'd
But
call it a Jeep. What kind of Jeep? I don't know.
I'm really having a callback to that. I've never had a YJ. My parents had one when I was in high school,
I had one
and
when I was in high school.
I don't know. There's something about it. There's a few online that are for sale, a couple of half-baked projects that are for sale. There's one that I've been really just battling with myself about because there's a there's a YJ on tons with a TBI 350 and 4L80 208 transfer case. Like, it's got good parts, and it's like needs this wired up. It doesn't have a front drive shaft. It needs this, and I'm like, doesn't have shocks in the front and all these things. I'm like, I could do those things. It could be and it's like $7,500 for what is there. Like $7,500. I couldn't buy those parts. And now I'm like,
We can take our headphones off and walk away, and Mike will talk himself into this.
Yeah.
I know.
Mike,
I'm trying real hard not to.
can we just buy a YJ grill and put it on your JK?
Oh, on your JK. There you
Call
go.
it good?
I mean, yeah.
I've
I mean,
seen
that's
that.
basically what this thing is.
You don't even need a YJ grill. You can just get like
Square
they
headlights.
just
Square
have
headlights,
yeah. They just have a grill kit for them. I've seen it.
Yeah.
15-inch. So back to the truck that he actually sent.
Yeah, El Jefe.
15-inch stretch.
It's got those crazy Mickey Thompsons.
Yeah,
What's
they're
the
43s.
Baja? What are they?
Baja Claw?
No.
The Baja XS competition.
That's right.
That's what it is.
They're those
So
goofy, like
43s
square
on a
ones.
17.
Yeah, they're beefy tires.
Yeah, they're very large.
Very wide. And they're like, the tread is like an inch and a half out on each side of the tire.
Yeah.
Tons of sidewall.
Great wet road
Yeah.
performance.
I mean,
yeah.
this
Their water shedding is
Yeah.
incredible.
this
Yeah.
thing it very much is quite literally the dude that you see at Sand Hollow that has spent $200,000
Oh, yeah.
building a rig.
But I bet it does soup bowl.
That's what it is.
Bet
Yeah.
it makes soup bowl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would hope it did some
If
bowl.
if it didn't,
Yeah.
If it didn't, then that other guy's
Yeah.
spotting you.
you're
Yeah. Dad,
Telling you
stop
to
it.
Stop.
Oh.
man. I think even with a bad spotter, that thing better be able to do soup bowl.
Yeah, no spotter. You need the no
yeah,
spotter
the
sticker.
No spotter sticker on that. Did you look that up? To
I
see what
tried
it
to
said?
find it, and I could not figure it out.
It's gonna bug me until I fucking figure out what the hell that said because it was so dumb.
Well, it was a cool Jeep. I like it.
Yeah.
It's a little much for me. Looks
I mean, I don't-
just
I can't afford that
I
much,
don't
so
need
I
it,
can use
but-
it as like a dream and then build something that I could afford near it.
That you don't
That's-
like.
What?
I'm just kidding.
Why would I not like it?
Well, you just
Who
have
knows?
you have a pattern, Mike. You
Oh.
like to make something that you like, and then
And then
sometimes
not like it
you
when it's done.
Yeah, you don't
no.
like it when it's done because you finished it.
I really felt like I've been really working hard on not putting my Rubicon up for sale.
That's good.
Uh,
Okay, there it
big
is.
surprise there.
What is it?
Big surprise there.
It's happening.
Yeah.
Everybody, Mike's email that I won't shout out, even though I keep doing it. You just hit him up. He listens to some old episodes, and everything's for sale.
Yeah.
Everything's for sale.
You can't buy my kid or my wife, but other than that,
Most things are for sale.
the rest.
Most everything is for sale.
I don't know.
So,
It did all
I
the
missed
things.
the-
Now, what am I going to do with it now?
I don't know. Do it again.
Yeah, but I don't want to just drive it. I want to.
What do you got, Jesse?
I missed the whole part about why we can't say Mike's email anymore.
Oh, because he doesn't like it.
Oh, I actually still use that email a lot, and if the podcast does well enough at some day, that would be a problem for me.
Joke of the day.
Yeah,
That was the proper response. Thank you.
You've got so much faith in us, Mike. I appreciate it.
it's so much faith that I don't want my email shouted out so much anymore. If you go back far enough that you can listen to the beginning, you're welcome to have my email address. However, at this point, there's hundreds of followers across multiple platforms, and I just don't. I don't want people using my email for bad. They're using it for evil. People sign up for political donations with it. I don't know.
Yeah,
You're
just
giving
giving
people
ideas. That's the problem.
Yeah, I know.
You're making it worse for yourself.
That's the problem. Yeah,
Now it's going to be a hunt
yeah.
to find said email address.
All right, you figured it out yet, Colin?
Nah, I'm still fucking. You know how he is about
About using the camera?
Well, he's filmed. So I thought that it was.
Where was
Jesse's
the
looking
sticker
too.
at on his rig, Colin?
It's on a TJ. Where do you think it was? The same place that Mike's
Oh,
fucking spider sticker
it's on
is
the-
and shit.
on
It's
the
like that.
front
gone.
fender?
That's gone.
I thought it was on the
Right
only
in front of
reason-
the front door. Right
People
under
love-
where it says Jeep.
People love to put stickers there.
I always
You know,
did.
Here we
Yeah.
go. Here we
They're
go.
flat
Here we go.
everywhere,
Come
so of
on,
course
get
they
in
do.
close. It didn't get in close.
Yeah.
It's a sport, the TJ.
The
By
TJs,
the way.
you can put stickers anywhere, but
Let's
it's a
see.
nice
maybe,
big open
so maybe
spot.
it was the first video that I noticed it on, not the second one. Weird.
Was it? Maybe it's when he was welding.
Nah, I feel like I saw it like fucking right off the jump when they went.
is it one of those don't
Because he went
follow
and
me?
got it. There it is.
I do stupid
Here
shit
we go.
stickers. People
Here we go. We're almost there.
I see a pink sticker online that
There
says,
is
"No, I don't need a
talking.
spotter. Please leave me alone." But I think it's for the gym, which might be what this guy's
Yeah.
sticker is. But it's probably
No,
he's
it's
not,
not.
using it for the gym. But
It is not.
okay.
It's got a picture also. There's like
Oh, okay.
clip art
Mm.
that is
I can
that
see
suggests otherwise.
You can see it.
No, I can see it, but I can't get the
Oh, there it is.
the words on it.
No spotting allowed, and it's a picture of his own Jeep in clip art that's flexing on the no. No spotting allowed.
Is it upside down and only front wheel drive?
Genius choices.